Those trees delivered cacao beans this spring in last May. So yeah, things are happening. And because sometimes in the world we have diseases, we just came out of a huge one, the corona one. I think everybody remembers that, and it's actually unfortunately still going on, but not as intense as it used to be. But apparently also plants and trees can get viruses. So I have good news for you. If the banana plants, let's say in South America or in Southeast Asia, get sick, we do have two types of banana plants, the blue type and the so-called pink type. So we could sort of give seeds or something, healthy seeds, to other countries if needed. Nice backup here on the little island in the north. That is, of course, if the whole island doesn't crash with volcano and lava. Well, that's dramatic. But yeah, so that's maybe interesting for you to know. Or if you would like to, again, I'm just, I'm putting it in your mind. Yes, I need to revisit Iceland. If you want to become a volunteer for the agriculture school, you could apply and maybe work a bit in the summertime and then go out and do some more excursion off the island. Just a wild idea. Why not? Out here in the fields you can see horses. Those are typical Icelandic horses. We call them horses, you might call them ponies. Yeah, they look small, but they have a very brave heart and a great mind, great characters. We have around 100,000 horses on the island, and you would think, what? Why? You have cars? Yeah, we do, but there is a great interest in horses in Iceland, and it's a hobby of many, and there is also like a breeding hobby. So every year we export, we sell Icelandic horses to other countries. It has become very popular to purchase horses in Germany, in Austria, in Denmark, and even now I'm told we have been selling horses to Australia and America. You might then want to ask, okay, were the horses here when the Vikings came? The answer is no. So what animals were here? The first settlers came in? That's a good question. Let's think about it. How does the land look like here, the landscape? Not many trees, it's pretty flat. So the only animal with 4 legs trotting on the ground happened to be the Arctic fox. The Arctic fox is believed to have stranded here during the last ice age. As the ice bridge between Iceland, America, Greenland, Europe was falling apart, some of those species were like, oh my god, I just lost my slot, I'm stuck in Iceland. So for about 1,000 years they were just here alone having a nice time, plenty of food, because the fox can even go down to the beach, and on a low tide they can get some fish. They also like to snatch some birds, and the bird life here has been quite good, but obviously many birds migrate here, so they come in springtime and just leave in the autumn and return again next year. So there are not as many birds here now in wintertime as they are in summertime. And on the right hand side you can see now 3 o'clock the mountain Eyjafjallajökull. It looks a bit closer to us from this angle. And on the left hand side the mountain here, as we continue our journey on the road, you start to see many rocks that are in the hill, located in the hill here. And honestly, if you like hiking, I would like to warn you, please do not hike on the east side of this mountain. It has landslides, it has rock slides, it is dangerous. So I would refrain from that all year around. Here on the left hand side you can see even big rocks close to the ground. And then there are a few trees here up front on the left hand side, and there is a tiny little cottage here. Can you see it? Yeah. And this cottage has been here, and there's a little bridge to walk and visit the cottage. It's been there for 50 years. Amazingly enough, never ever has any stone hit that house, and it is believed that the elves are protecting the house from the rocks. Yeah, we sometimes believe in the hidden people and the elves. And talking about that, since it is soon New Year's Eve, it is from our superstitious belief that no one should be alone on New Year's Eve, because those are the hours where the hidden people enter the world of humans, and they will try to seduce you. And if you say yes and go into their world, you will be stuck in their world forever and ever. Yep. There are many folk tales about this, where, you know, on New Year's, most of the people went to church, and they would sometimes just leave one person in the house to take care of the house. And usually when they returned, that person had gone missing and never returned. Yeah, spooky. It is also believed that the cows, if you go into the stable of the cows, that they will understand and speak Icelandic, the human language Icelandic, on a New Year's Eve, and they can sort of make a forecast how your life is going to become in the near future. So if you happen to know farmers that have cows, absolutely pay them a visit if you want to have a fortune telling. Just an idea to spend the evening, people. But here on the right we see a river, and this river is actually originating from the largest freshwater lake in Iceland, and we get to see that lake in the afternoon when we come to the Parliament place Þingvellir. There's a lot of salmon in this river and trout, but the season is closed now. It will open again in coming May, and it will be open until middle of October next year. The crater we are going to visit today has a frozen lake inside of the crater in the center, but obviously when it's not snow or frost, you would be able to see the lake. What is quite unique about the crater we are visiting is that after its eruption, the top floor of the crater collapsed into the center of the crater, and maybe with that smash, some part of the dike cracked in a different way, and so in the fields here underground we have groundwater, and the water sort of found its way through the dike of the mountain and popped into the center of the crater. And so it's a mix of groundwater and rainwater. And most of the time the depth of the water is anything from 5 to 15 meters or 15 to 45 feet depth. It's not a huge crater. In diameter it's around 170 meters or 540 feet. So I was here yesterday, and it was quite okay to walk around. It was not too icy or slippery, but of course if you're wearing sneakers, your shoes are gonna be quite slippery today, so show caution at all times. I highly recommend, for those of you who maybe have some walking problems, I suggest you start to go on the edges of the crater on the left hand side, so like clockwise, and I'm happy to walk with you there. There is a nice viewpoint where you absolutely get to see the oval shape of the crater, including the lake inside. It's a nice spot to take a photo if you like, but then again you have your artistic eye, so you take a photo whenever you like, or you just put it in your memory. I would say if you want to walk around the crater, it is a bit of a brisk walk, and it takes you roughly 20 minutes to walk around. It is also quite lovely to go inside of the crater, but it's hard to do both in one time. The stairs can be a little bit, the steps into the crater can be a little bit slippery, but if you like singing, I highly suggest you test your voice down by the lake, and you face the lake, the center of the lake, because the acoustic there is so lovely and it echoes quite lovely. Just an idea, if you feel like being spontaneous, or if you want to make a New Year's song and film it and then send it out to your family and friends overseas, that's another idea of doing it. So many options, people, so many options. And here we are. You see people are going here counterclockwise or clockwise. You do whatever circle you like, it is a circle. The entrance fee is included in your ticket. I'm just gonna check in with the booth there. It's a bit windy here, so I highly recommend have your jackets on, your hat and your mittens or gloves. So we will depart from here at 11:25. Let's say 11:30. 11:30 we depart, no later than that, because we are sort of in a race with the daylight today. We want to see all the places in broad daylight, hopefully.